So I'm gonna wet my brush, and I'm just gonna get it in a good position here so you can see it. Let's make sure it's in nice focus for you. And then let's just knock down the bottom a bit with some water. And a little bit more on the sides. Just wet it down, because you can move this around. Now, no matte medium yet. There hasn't been any matte medium on this. It's all water sculpt. And then let it sit for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay. See how I'm pushing it around, shaping. So now I got a base. See how it's starting to fill out a bit there nicer? So now I have like a pretty good base. And I'm going to grab my little pick here, and I'm going to shove it in to that lip, the gun shield lip, where they would have snapped or connected this bag, the blast bag, to. Okay, so notice these strips I got here. These will go on the third phase. I'll do a wrap around the barrel. I'll do a wrap around the barrel so that I can clean up the edge, like on these secondaries here and here. You see that? So I'll use the strip next. Once this dries, though, I think I just want to be a little bit safer about that. I don't want to take on too much. So this is the second wet tissue sculpt. And you'll find that excuse me, you get that nice wrinkled effect. And when you feel good about it, just set it aside. Or you can do this, watch. I'm going to take a little bit of water, a little bit of matte medium. This is your glue or your adhesive now. And I'm just going to just poke a little bit in. And it's transparent and it's matte. And what this will do is it will stiffen up this tissue now, but not to the point where it's hard and brittle. It'll always be sort of soft, in the same way that these guns were glued a week ago. And look at that, I can still move them. See that, up and down? Right to the end I get to position the barrel, because this model is adhered and glued together with matte medium. The same, I'll show it one more time. This Liquitex. Every modeler should have a bottle of this. You can get them in all different sizes via Liquitex. Really small, medium, large, whatever. And I use it for almost everything, models and dioramas. I love it. In fact, I don't know what I'd do without it now that I'm sort of spoiled by it. Okay, so there's we're getting there, aren't we? See that? Isn't that nice? And I haven't painted it yet. Okay? Okay, so how's everybody doing? So time to put a little bit of this off-white of Vallejo 71.270 on these blast bags, the tissue paper blast bags. So the nice thing about doing them with tissue is every one is different. I mean, they're the same shape and everything, but, you know, they have a distinct look to them, because if you notice on the photo here, I don't know if you can see it that well, but see how they have kind of a beard on the bag? Like they droop down, like they're not really clean on the bottom. Like these ones on the main guns on hood, they're fairly clean, like clamped into the turret nice with that ring. But they do have a droop to them. But these ones, on the other hand, the 5.5s I'm doing, they're actually pretty shaggy looking, So I don't feel too, let me just move these other way for a sec. So I don't feel too bad about the way these turned out, because they do have that sort of bearded, shaggy look to them, So this off-white I think will look pretty good. And since this tissue is like hard now, like stiff, takes paint really well, has a little bit of a fabric-y kind of look to it. And once this seals this Vallejo, which I love because I can just mix it with water on the fly, and it's really nice paint for a traditional brush like this. I could probably put a wash on this of acrylic enamels or oils actually once they're dry. So they're looking pretty good, I think. Getting close. And then what I'm going to have to do is I'll try to show you the situation I'm going to be, excuse my hand, the situation that I'm going to be facing to get these three, or actually not three, the top deck one will be easy, but this one here, like gun 1 and 2, getting them inside of those, like under the shelter deck, the way it's like I've been rehearsing it a little bit. Oh my goodness, like it's a bit of gymnastics. Okay, how's everybody doing? So this was the part of the build that I was a little bit nervous about prior to this, and let me explain to you why quickly here. So these guns are all done, and as most of you know, like they won't fit in through these openings on the side here, like they wouldn't on the prototype either. So they must have put them in and then plated the top of the deck, or I don't know how they got them in, or dragged them through the hallway down here. I don't know. So I was able to get, let me just put this one back on the tape rack here. So I was able to get these ones in on this side. So this is all loose, the shelter deck. So what I did is I put the two guns in on this side and I got it down through, but there's no room to move the cabinet around inside. Like I modeled the enclosure to scale. So I had to sort of weasel the gun barrels out the side and then put that down gently. Now the mounting hole, like they're loose, so they're not glued in place. So I don't even know how I'm going to glue them in place, to be honest with you. I'll figure out a way. But let me just show you on this side, because now a couple of problems here. So, okay, so I got these in as well. And the nice thing, thank you, Simon at Micromaster, because I don't know where you got the measurements, but these fit perfectly in there when they're mounted like the gun mount is on the deck. So there's just enough room there. Plus the fact that I modeled, you know, the ceiling, you know, I-beams. Oh my goodness, you know how it is. So like 0.5 millimeter is your friend, like in this particular situation. So far so good. So I got these gun mounts. They'll go into the holes that I had to drill with a jig with like no room to spare. Now here's the other thing, that I got to get these poles in, like these support poles. Like these are the support poles that go along here to support this deck. They're important. So I drilled into the I-beams, so I'm going to have to insert these up. I measured them so that they would fit, so there'd be some play. So when this gets pushed down, they'll actually push up into the I-beam without hitting the deck on the bottom, so they'll fit nice and tight to the deck. Because I can't drill holes and then drop them in. I mean, I could have done that, but I pre-modeled all this and painted it, so I didn't want to do that. So that's the next challenge. So I can't put this, see this rear part? Okay, I'll just say this in closing on this. So this was done for a reason. Like I remodeled this, like these walls here, because I would never have been able to deflect them, like to get them in. Like I have to bend them out, see? Because this has to go down. Well, it's got to go down first, but you can see that, like I just bumped them all, you can see they've fallen inside again. So what a challenge to get those right. So this is the moment I was dreading. I know I can do it because I rehearsed it and I actually pulled it off. So you know how it is with model building like this. Model building is a lot to do with dry runs and trying not to break things. Ships are going to take you to another level of challenges anyway, especially when you do revisions like this. So for those of you that don't know, like this was a revision, like none of this was required for the Trumpeter kit. This is a complete overhaul, like backdating. So you can mount these guns like that. I had to make a jig up and I had to trace it off of this, and it had to be within 1 millimeter max tolerance, like that's it, like not even. Because these guns, like they need to rotate, well, I mean prototypically, without hitting the inside of these unscale thickness frame. I mean, I cheated these, see, to look scale thickness. Things like that, like 0.5 millimeter and you're hooped, and you won't get this down. They'll rub again, like it. Like I'm not kidding you. This is one of the most challenging parts of the whole build. Okay, so this is the port side, and the whole shelter deck is gimbaled. The back rear is up in the air, kind of like not pressed down. This is gimbaled this way because I'm going to have to get these ones. So I just got them in there gently to get them to drop into their mounting hole, which I mentioned before that it had to be perfect. I used a paper template. I traced the paper, I traced it, the paper template, and laid it on the deck, and after 32 dry runs, click, when you hear clicks, you hope those are good clicks, right? And then, do these drop into the holes is the question. Yes. Okay. That feels good. And then this one, this will drop in, but I might have to move it a bit. So that's good. Yeah, okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side, but before I do, just let me point some out. So see how I had this taped off here? I have to weld the new skirt along, like the side piece for scale, and weld it in and model it into here. And then I never painted this part because I want to weld this down. But now when I realize it, I probably won't have to, because remember how I did the screw blocks through these holes? Like they're built in, you saw them, they were white, thick, 80 thou. I laminated 4 pieces together and just made a block so I can put a screw. So when this goes down, I'll be able to pull the whole deck down, including these poles tight to the floor and these seams. There'll be a line there anyway from the steel plate, but I probably won't have to weld this. I won't have to weld any of this because it'll pull down tight, and then I'm going to make some strip like this bootstrap strip I mentioned before in previous episodes. I'm going to pre-paint those and then glue them on last so it's nice and clean all the way around. So those guns there will go in, and then I'm going to turn it around and show you what I got to do on the other side. Okay, so here we are on the starboard side. You can see what I mean, how this is up. I want to keep this up now. The other ones are sort of in tentatively. So the idea on the starboard side here is this will be the display side in my bookcase lit shadow box cabinet. And I want to be able to do like a photograph like this with her 3, like there's one deck gun up here that'll go on later. But these 2 I have to get in, like they're already built up. I'll show you how I have to try to get those in. But I had to sort of fix them up, like upright elevated. It's kind of the way it is. You can't make these parts moving, and if you do, they'll get broken. So I want to get a photo like this of the model, like eventually. That's my goal. This photo is so inspirational. I got it off of Google Images, I think. Yeah, probably. But whoever provided this photo out there, if you recognize it, thank you very much, because it's a big part of this whole build and my passion and inspiration to try to pull this off. But so you can see the 3 there. So these 2 here, I have to get into here. Okay. So that's the challenge once again. So what I have to do is, okay, I gotta lay the gun in on her side like that, I think. You can see the holes there where these drop into. If you're going to ask me how I glue them in place, I don't know yet. Isn't that the way it is though with model building? You don't really know what's up ahead, but you just have this kind of ignorant confidence that you'll have to pull it off, you'll have to solve it. That's what I love about model building, is it's about problem solving. And it translates into life too, I think. So There, shoot. Gotta gently, like the rear, like let me just, can I pan just slowly over to the rear to show you what's going on here? Okay, so see this here? So these were just 10 thou sheet, like I rebuilt these because they needed to be flexible to get them over these bulkhead pieces or whatever. Because I sort of knew I'd be up against this from experience, and that the deck, the shelter deck, sort of has to be flexible in a way that way in order to pull this off. So the challenge here is getting these guns up and to be gentle, because I don't want to break these. Like that's, I probably should be using a wood but acrylic paint with lots of clear coats really provides a tough finish. Okay. Oh, I can't believe this. I'm actually pulling this off. Oh, I can't believe it. I got him in. Okay, how's the other side? Okay, the other side looks good. Okay, so you know what? Okay, so see that? I'll be able to pivot those, and they weren't too far back. Like they need to be, like I say, that 0.5 millimeter tolerance. Okay, that's good. Okay, so remember how I talked about, okay, so there's tape right here. Remember how I talked about how I didn't do that because I thought I might have to weld that section. Well, I should just take that off now anyway, because I'm going to have to model that. Like I'll have to weld like the new splinter shield along the side here because I cut the old one off. It was this, I'll just show you this quick. It was this fat, ugly piece, you know. There's no way it's that thick. So that was in here. Well, this was in here like this. So I just cut that out. I'm going to put in, I'm going to scratch in a new piece with new uprights here. And then, okay, so now what I'm going to do is just make sure that that's all, that they all line up. And then I'm going to put a screw in here because it's just to pull that down tight. One here. And then down there. And then it looks like the poles, I didn't lose my poles either, see? See the support poles for the first initial deck extensions. So they're in. Okay, that feels good.